This report is brought to you by Cerule, makers of a new category of plant-based products scientifically proven to naturally increase the number of adult stem cells in circulation. This offers a variety of benefits to reduce the effects of human aging. I have a nagging tennis injury, a rotator cuff shoulder problem. Surgery is pretty iffy, so I've been a long-time user of glucosamine products. They don't help much, but that has been my only alternative. So I gave it a try. The rep told me that it would usually take several months before any noticeable difference would occur. First week, nothing. Second week, maybe a little better. But then by the third week, all of a sudden I realized it was a lot better. All I can say is Stem Enhance has worked for us, and non-invasively. Yes, I could have paid $5,000 to have a stem cell injection into my shoulder, but it wears off. Why not stimulate the body's natural ability to generate the stem cells itself, which then travel naturally wherever they are needed for a fraction of the cost? One visit to a doctor can cost more than a month's supply of this product. There's a lot of science behind this. I wouldn't be advertising it otherwise. This works. Check out their website at billstill.cerule.com. There's also a 30-day money-back guarantee on a single bottle purchase, so you can try it risk-free.
Good evening. I'm still reporting on the coup. The widening war in Israel is causing increasing concerns of a direct attack on United States soil, not from without, but from within. This morning, Maria Bartiromo had on the former Secretary of State under President Trump, Mike Pompeo, a man who more than any other commentator keeps abreast of the latest intelligence on issues that deal with national defense. Pompeo sounded the alarm that thousands of malign actors, people that want to do us harm, are now living here.
Your thoughts on where we are today versus your administration when you were Secretary of State with the Trump administration?
Well, Maria, thanks for having me on this morning. I think you can see from Director Wray's response, he knows what we can all plainly see with our eyes, that we are less safe today. America is less secure. Americans traveling abroad are now being asked to come home from multiple countries. Risk is definitely heightened. It's a direct result of the third administration of Barack Obama, a weak idea of America in the world. And when you evince that weakness, it is entirely you get entirely what we've seen. It's provocative to the bad guys, and you see the bad guys begin to move in ways that threaten each and every American here in the homeland.
I want to get your take, Secretary, on the role of China here, because we have this graphic that shows the level of propaganda coming out of TikTok supporting Hamas right now and anti-Israel. And this is just TikTok, and it's stand with Palestine, stand with Israel. And you can see the difference. Do you believe that communist China is following what's happening in Israel and trying to pile on here, as has been the case in the past? Where does China fit in here?
There's no doubt, Maria, you've been talking about China for 4.5 years now, maybe longer. The Chinese Communist Party talks about American decline, but they don't just talk about it, they advocate for it. And you see that in all forms of social media. You see that in their espionage operations here in the United States. They are deeply watching the United States. They're working alongside Hamas, cheering them on, in spite of the fact that there were 1,400 barbaric deaths. And we shouldn't forget 30 Americans who lost their lives that day as well. The Chinese Communist Party, the Russians, the Iranians, they are all working against the basic human decency that America has stood for 250 years. And they are knee-deep in this conflict as well. And they're watching how we behave in Ukraine today. They're saying, are you going to stay with them? Or are you just going to let them go and let them fall? They're watching American leadership and its absence, right? If you say that a minor incursion is okay, President Biden, or you describe ISIS as the JV, President Obama, when you do those things, Xi Jinping says we're going to get after this in ways that we wouldn't dare do if America was strong and its leadership was prepared to defend the American people. Yeah, the risk here is real. We've known for a long time that there are radical Islamist cells operating in and around Europe. We know that the Islamists tried to attack the Saudi ambassador in a restaurant in Georgetown. We know this is a very real threat to the United States of America. And the fact that we don't have control of our borders, that we don't know who's coming in and out of our country, is something that the bad guys have been observing for years. And goodness knows the scale of the infiltration in just these last 2 years, with now 7 million people coming across our border. How many of them came here with malintent?
Well, do you know how many militants there were who in less than 24 hours not only found a way to get across a heavily defended border, but then killed approximately 1,500 in Israel? According to Michael A. Horowitz, a security analyst and head of intelligence at the Lebec Consultancy, between 3,000 and 5,000 were involved during the October 7th nighttime attack. Look at these crowds jamming Pennsylvania Avenue on their way to protest in front of the White House. Somewhere between 30 and 100,000 Hamas supporters. And similar crowds were seen across Europe, too. Can you imagine the damage they can do to Western civilization? I'm still reporting from just outside the citadel of world freedom. Good day.